heaven. This gorge mixture. Let's try. If there's one thing a New Englander like me is born knowing how to do, it's to ask for bread when you order clams so that you can soak up and sap up all of the broth and juice. So instead of asking for bread, how about we put bread on the bottom of the bowl, some nice toast, and then pile the clams on top of it. So that way, the bread's already there and ready to go. So today I'm making steamed clams with a wonderful garlicky white wine broth and some fresh cherry tomatoes, a little bit of sweet corn, and if you're feeling it, a little bit of beautiful salami slices in there to add a little bit of kick, a little heat, a little something extra and meaty, because how could you deny that? So let's get started. It all starts with our broth. So I have a big pot here. You want to make sure you have a pot with a heavy top. And I'm going to add to it some white wine. You want to use dry white wine, so like Sauvignon Blanc or Pinot Grigio. Those are perfect. And we're going to add to it a little bit of garlic. I just took a garlic clove, peeled it, and then I'm going to make really thin slices of garlic just to flavor our white wine. And then I have my clams. Eric is just so enthralled by these clams. Oh my gosh, there's nowhere to put them. So I have some fresh clams here. You can get them from the grocery store or your local fish market. And all you're gonna do is you're gonna take them in your hands and you're gonna scrub the outside of them just to get any loose sand off of them. And then you're gonna pop them in some really nice cold water for about 15 to 20 minutes to let them soak and let all that extra sand sink to the bottom. So I'm gonna set that aside and try not to spill. Ooh. So we have our clams chilling in the water. We have our white wine in our big pot, and now it's time to work on our mix-ins that are going to flavor our clam dish. So I have here some finely chopped shallot. I have some sweet corn that I just took off the cob, some cherry tomatoes that I halved, and some fresh Italian parsley that I just chopped up roughly. And the final ingredient is I have some Calabrese, hopefully I said that right. It's just some spicy, pretty mildly spicy salami. And I'm just gonna roll it up just like this, and I'm going to julienne it, which basically just means cutting into thin strips, just like this. You can also use nduja in this, which is an Italian salami spread. Add just like a little tablespoon into the mixture, and it will just flavor it like no other. I couldn't find it though, which is really sad. Or you can just opt for not having it at all. So let's take all of our ingredients over to the stove and get this dish mixing. So it's time to multitask, but I promise it's not difficult at all. It's really, really easy. So I have my clams in our pot with our white wine, and all we're gonna do is we're going to turn on the stove to high heat, and you wanna get this boiling. You want the wine to boil and keep it at a boil. And you're gonna close the lid on the pot and you're gonna let them steam, and the steam is what's going to cook the clams and have them open up. When they're open, they're done. It'll take about 5 to 10 minutes depending on your clams. So while those are going, we're gonna work on our clam mix-ins, the flavor. So I have some butter here, and to the butter, I'm gonna add in my corn and my salami. You can also use olive oil, but butter and clams is like amazing, and butter and corn. And I have my shallots. I'm gonna add that in, some salt, and some pepper. And I'm gonna let this go for about 5 minutes or so. Really sweat it off, make sure the corn is cooked through at medium-high heat. And then we're gonna check our clams. Okay, it's been about 5 minutes. Our clams are still going strong. And it's time to add in my tomatoes And we just want to touch the heat to these. So you only want them in for about 2 minutes, and a generous amount of parsley. They're done. I got my toast, I got my clams on my toast, and it's time to add this gorge mixture right to the top, just like this. Oh, heaven. And then the trick is to tip your pot and get some of that white wine juice and a clam, and to pour it right on the top of your toast. Just like that, with a surprise clam. And then garnish with a little extra parsley all over it, and dig in. So I already got a clam ready for consumption with a piece of that soaked up juicy bread. Let's try. Oh my gosh. That is so fantastic. The clams are so fresh and sweet. The little spiciness of the salami, the juiciness and tartness of the tomato, and the crunch and sweetness of the corn, all with that bread. Check it out on tastefullygrace.com. You won't regret it. If you're feeling naughty like me.
And a little bit of salami.
Can I start the